Peter Salasya wanted dead. Who wants the member of parliament for Mumias East, Peter Salasya, dead? Why his coastal tour mad with lots of repulsive energy and seemingly violent force? These are the questions that we want to respond to in this podcast today as we do our analysis to fix the equations. Therefore, stay with me to the end. Fast forwarding to what happened yesterday. There were a master policeman, a presumed policeman, who went to attack Peter Salasya and his team, where they were resting after a long day's coastal region tour. First of all, let us watch this video before we continue. It is out of this that Peter Salasya has also said that certain quarters within the government think that somebody is funding his campaigns. Somebody thinks that somebody is behind Peter Salasya moving around. They even got to check his payslips, the deductions that are being made in his payslips, and the amount that he is left with. They think that cannot facilitate his movement.
Sijapata mwenye ananiambia kwamba hii ndio mikakati ambayo uko nayo. Lakini kwa sababu nimeanza kuongelesha vijana kuunganisha, wanaanza kusema nimelipwa pesa ati ndio uliona hata wakati wa finance bill nilisimama na wakei. Wakati wa Rikichi nikasema it is none of my business to involve in mambo ya impeachment ya Rigathi Gachagua, and I never apart from pesa ambayo ilimwagwa pale. Kwa sababu mimi ni mtu wa msimamo. Sasa wameona sasa hivi Peter Salasya ameanza matumbo zimeanza wameanza kusikia
Well, now back to the question that I asked him. Why is his coastal region tour mad with lots of repulsive energy and violent force? Now, to respond to this question, we must ask ourselves, who is the presumed kingpin of the coastal region? Could it be that they feel the person is overstepping a boundary? Because in politics, you leave no stone unturned. That is where our investigation needs to begin from. Could it be that it is that specific person who is feeling threatened? Because if the government, with all the resources that it has, can be scared of a documentary that was produced by the BBC, The Blood Parliament, which took them time to go and arrest 4 of the alleged cameramen who helped in producing the documentary. And until date, the government hasn't done anything to bring the culprits to book. However much the BBC documentary showed even the faces and the distance at which the KDF officers and the policemen were shooting at the peaceful demonstrators. But it took them less than a week to unravel the faces of the suspect, including the weapon that was used in the murder of the Kasipul Kabondo Member of Parliament, Charles Ngondo Owere. Yet, when Kenyans die, that is not happening. So, if the government could be shook or shaken with such a documentary, what do you think a common character in the west or in the coastal region who feels that they own the region and seeing an MP from western region coming to take lead in that region? It is fear for sure that is leading toward this. I will not call names, but I will give you tentative, memorable characters within your thoughts that you will have to get answers to these. You see, coastal region, just like the drug cartel operates, people have boundaries. And in politics, we have the constitution, which has to be followed to the letter. Then we have the politicians who have their way of playing their games. There are certain zones that they mark for themselves, that they are the kingpins, such that anybody tries to infiltrate their influence, they are met with so unnecessary force, which is unconstitutional, but still aided by the services within the government. That is why somebody is so curious and trying to pass a warning to Peter Salasya that you are overstepping my boundary. It is as simple as that. Leave alone all this propaganda that someone is trying to fix, saying that it is Oscar Sudi who is funding Peter Salasya. Nothing like that. You know, in this government could do anything, could use every blogger, including your favorite one, could be paid just to tarnish the name of that one specific leader who is seen to be performing. They have realized that Peter Salasya is actually developing his constituency, and his constituents are so happy and convinced with him that he shall bring change. It is the lack of change within the nation that has, pricked Salasya to want to vie for presidency come the year 2027. I believe it is the same wind of flame that is oozing around you whenever you see misembezzlement of funds, when you see misappropriation of funds from the treasury. Just recently, we saw the billions that have been lost within the e-citizen transactions that cannot be accounted for. Yet, all of them are presumably going into one consolidated account. It is such economic deficiency that is making people mad, including the youth, to want to field one of their own to vie for a presidency. Then, instead of uniting with such a soul and making sure that you bring change to the nation, the best bloggers can do is to forge propaganda mechanisms just to bring hailstones at Peter Salasya. You know what? In the dispensation of technology, now the government is trying to pull back using the information war. But truth is never far away from us. We know even within the team that PK Salasya is working with, of course, the government must have an agent. And whatever information is being shared there, they most probably are getting it. Therefore, it is my advice to PK Salasya to try and filter back your team. Get to know who is truly with you. And whatever myth is come with proof and tell your people that you are free from all those propaganda machinery that are being weighed against you. A lot will be written, but trust me, just like I've been saying, guys, youth, this is your time. It is not tomorrow, it is today. Our parents, our grandparents used to tell us youth are the leaders of tomorrow. That tomorrow has already come. It is now. We are the leaders of now, today. Because the old guard has proven to be, so greedy that they cannot use our taxes for the benefit of the common citizen. The civilians are suffering. For anyone who is living within the nation, if you're a business person, if you're employed, you got to know the situation is not as it used to be some 3, 4, 5 years ago. Things are changing so fast. and the old guard talk about Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Fred Matiang'i, Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, Jeremiah Kioni, all those old guards, they are nothing other than greedy souls, and that is why I call them a Tower of Babel that will come crumbling down. And we also have traitors in the midst. For a long time, I thought during the Gen Z revolution demonstrations, I thought Kasmuel Nakuru was with the revolution. But that was a government project. It goes without doubt. Any blink of an eye. It is so open. The other day, we saw Morara Kibaso together with the Kasmel. And now, they were reading comments of Kenyans. You understand? And laughing about them. You know, those are now the people that will be planted within the youth circle to make sure that they bring what I called the simple disorganized majority to divide the vote. The youth, let us put one energy like Peter Salasya and support him through to the ballot. Whatever Peter is seeking back in the western region to unite the Luya community, whatever is gone through to Nakuru, to Rift Valley region, is now in the coastal region, seeking for Kenya unity, is not a joke. That is the only thing that shall liberate us from this. But as it seems, I still feel that Kenyans, I still feel that you are not ready for a revolution. I still feel this burning thing that is deep within our hearts. Some people are watering it down. I don't feel like people are actually ready for this. But the day it will reach your doorstep, then shall you feel it. For Peter Salasya, someone is so determined to bring him down. Because, you know, Peter Salasya seems like this person who looks like is mad and all that. But deep inside, the person is intelligent. The IQ of that person is so huge. It's just like, George Wajakoya. When he was talking about using bang for medicinal value, people just saw him as a bang smoker. They didn't know the substance that this person was bringing on table. Until recently, that people are learning how much we could be earning from bang exports. May having resources at your disposal, but because of lack of integrity and knowledge, you die a very poor nation. Guys, let us protect Salasya. He is, at least for now, he is the only person that we are seeing that could take this revolution to the next level. And it won't be easy. It will be difficult. It will be tough. There are forces that will use guns, bullets, and everything, every machinery they got, the social media. They will fight him from all the quarters. But let us not lose focus. For he might be the chosen one. Just recently, the IEBC nominees were named. And guess what? If you dig deeper, you'll just find these are people that have been chosen to make sure they deliver in a silver platter victory to William Samoei Ruto come the year 2027. And that is why Kalonzo Musyoka, the Wiper leader, once again has criticized that selection.
Tumeona vile William Ruto amechagua majina ambayo amepeleka kwa bunge ili waidhinishwe kama makamishna mpya wa tume ya uchaguzi. Huwezi kuwa wewe ni mchezaji na unachagua wewe referee yako. Haiwezekani. Kwa hivyo mimi nilimwandikia barua William Ruto hajajibu. Nilimwandikia Raila Odinga kama prince wakati wa Nadco nikamwandikia barua, sijapata majibu. We are not going to allow this thing to go easy. Lakini kama vile ndugu yangu amesema, sisi tuko tayari. Hata Ruto mwenyewe akijifanya ndiye chairman wa IBC, Ruto must go.
What is your take on this? Give me your thought in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button. So anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.